Columbus Day, but the indigenous people they don't like it, so they celebrate anti-Columbus Day. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So some people do refer to it as anti-Columbus Day because they're pushing back against celebrating Columbus and instead want to focus on honoring Indigenous Peoples Day. So you got the idea. It's just a way of showing they don't support the old name and want to celebrate something more inclusive.
Okay, for me, Indigenous Peoples Day has always been about standing against colonialism. It's colonialism, right? Colonialism.
Yeah, you're saying it right. It's colonialism. And you're spot on. For a lot of people, Indigenous Peoples Day is really about standing against colonialism and all the harm it caused. So you're definitely using the right word and the right idea there.
Colonialism. Okay, colonialism. Celebrating my culture is in a visible way and making sure that my peers know, and my peers knew that native people are not extinct. What's meaning? EXNICT.
Extinct.
Absolutely. So exist just means to be
No,
present
no,
or
no, 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 no. Extinct. EXTINCT.
oh, got it. You meant extinct. So extinct means no longer existing or having died out completely. So if you're saying native people are not extinct, you mean they're very much still here and alive, and you're making sure people know that. So yeah, that's the difference. Extinct means
Actual
gone.
comment and actual comment I have received many times, even at pain. Imagine my surprise the first time I realized that although I stood alone in my actions in school, there were many other across TUR, TURTLE was like.
Yeah, absolutely. So the word you're looking at is cultural, and it just means something related to the customs, beliefs, and practices of a group of people. So if you realize you weren't alone in your cultural stance, it means you found out there were others who shared your cultural views or actions. So you're getting it just right.
Okay, so I mean, I don't know this word TURTLE. What's meaning?
Oh, I see. That word is turtle. It's just the animal, like a turtle. So
Okay,
if you came
Turtle
across that word,
Island. Where is Turtle Island?
yeah, Turtle Island is actually a noun that many Indigenous peoples use to refer to North America. It's a traditional name rooted in some Indigenous creation stories. So when someone says Turtle Island, they mean the continent of North America.
All right. So not so, which means you're like saying like Canada, Mexico, American, all these three countries combined together, the map looks like a turtle.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. So when Indigenous people say Turtle Island, they're referring to North America, which includes the US, Canada, and sometimes parts of Mexico. And yeah, it's based on a traditional story that imagines the land as a turtle. So you got it right.
Okay, Turtle Island, and beyond doing the same thing I felt seen and stood outside of just my home community, and I felt proud to be in a solidary or something. I don't know how to SOLIDARITY.
Solidarity.
Yeah, you got it. That word is solidarity, and it just means feeling unity or mutual support with others. So if you felt proud to be in solidarity, it means you felt really connected and supported by others who were doing the same thing. And yeah, you pronounced it just right.
Okay, solidarity like unity.
Yeah, exactly. Solidarity is pretty much like unity or standing together with others. So when you're in solidarity, you're feeling that sense of togetherness and mutual support. You've got it perfectly.
Solidarity. Okay, solidarity. Okay, with the other Native Americans, and as I have developed my personal connection with my tribe. It's tribe, right? TRIBE.
Yes, exactly. You've got it. The word is tribe, and it just means a group of people, often indigenous, who share the same culture, language, or ancestry. So you're using it perfectly there. Great job.
Okay, so indigenous Indians tribe. Okay, indigenous in tribe. Okay, so my family and natives at Japan, indigenous people stay has also become a day centered in community and reflection. I don't want other indigenous youth to feel as I did for many years, alone in my heart, for everything that was taken from my ancestors and for everything we still endure today. What's mean endure? Endure.
Absolutely. So endure basically means to go through or to continue to experience something difficult or challenging. So if you say you and others still endure things today, it means you're still facing or dealing with those hardships. And you're using it
Okay, so
exactly.
we had to endure a 9 hour delay at the airport. 9 hour delay. Okay, 9 hour delay. She's already had endured 3 painful operations on her leg. Endure like I had to endure my nightmare leader in 3 years, or maybe just in 1 year or something. How to say that?
Yeah, those are perfect examples. So endure really is about going through something tough, like long delay or multiple surgeries, or even just dealing with a really tough situation for a long time. And you got the hang of it. You're using it exactly right.
And I want to celebrate the achievements of indigenous people and the perseverance. Perseverance was right.
Absolutely. So that word is perseverance, and it basically means continuing to push forward and not give up, even when things are really challenging. So if you want to celebrate Indigenous people's achievements and perseverance, you want to honor both what they've accomplished and how they've kept going despite difficulties. So you're using it correctly there.
What's meaning of perseverance?
Sure. Perseverance basically means not giving up and continuing to push through challenges or difficulties. It's all about that determination to keep going even when things are tough. So that's what perseverance means.
Perseverance. Okay, perseverance of our culture of. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it again. Can you say that again? Just explain to me like a case. Thank you.
Of course. So perseverance is basically when you keep going and don't give up, even when things are really hard. For example, if someone faces a lot of obstacles, but they just keep trying and working hard, that's perseverance. It's like not
Perseverance. Okay, perseverance. Perseverance. It's a perseverance. Just never give up.
Yeah, you got it. Perseverance is all about that determination to keep going no matter what. So you're absolutely on the right track with it.
Perseverance of our culture after all this time. Indigenous people say I can see myself in all my communities. And I don't know how to pronounce this. Me these traps. It's traps, right? It's trap. It's traps. Tuscalora.
Yeah, that's the Tuscarora tribe, and you're pronouncing it right. So it's just one of
Tuscarora, and the next one is Lumbee.
Yep, that's the Lumbee tribe, and you've got the pronunciation
Now
right for that.
Africa, natives of Japan and the Native American. Native American, I am a part of the global community of indigenous people who are a great GRAPPLING was meaning like.
Yeah, so that word is grappling, and it basically means struggling with or trying to deal with something difficult.
Grappling
So
with
if
complex emotions and remembrance. It's remembrance. Remembrances. I think it's remembrances, right?
yeah, exactly. So remembrances just means
Remembrance.
memories or acts of
Remembrance. In remembrance.
Yeah, you've got it. Remembrances are just those acts of remembering or honoring memories. So when you're grappling with complex emotions and remembrances, you're dealing with those memories and feelings all together, and you're using it perfectly.
Okay, great. Okay, then next remembrance. Even though I'm a remembered, even though I'm a reminded all the work that is still to be done, I take the time to acknowledge all the people who came before me doing the same work and all the beautiful things we can still celebrate. Recently, Coxon and this in second year student in the Wharton School concentrating in finance. She is a citizen of the okay CHEROKEE. This is one nation, right? One American, one indigenous nation.
Yes, exactly. The Cherokee are indeed one of the indigenous nations in the United States. So you're right. It's the name of a specific Native American tribe. You're doing great.
Cherokee, right? Cherokee. Okay, so okay, I got you. So indigenous people still recognize the resilience of my ancestors and the legacy I carry with me. It is a day dedicated to the impact of colonialism, right? Colonialism.
Yeah, you're saying it exactly right. It's colonialism. And yeah, Indigenous Peoples Day is really about recognizing that resilience and the legacy and also acknowledging the impact of colonialism. So you're spot on with
Colonialism
that.
had on my family and many others if it weren't for the ASSIMIRATION was meaning ASSIMIRATION.
Absolutely. So assimilation is the process of one cultural group being absorbed into another, often losing their own cultural identity along the way. So when you talk about the impact of assimilation, you're talking about how that process affected.
Assimilation. Okay, assimilation. Like the Han, like the Chinese culture, like every people saying like every foreigners when they come to China, they will be impacted by the China's culture. It's called assimilation, right?
Yeah, that's a good example. So assimilation can definitely mean that kind of cultural absorption where someone coming into a new culture ends up adopting its ways and maybe losing some of their original cultural identity. So you're using the term in a totally correct way.
How to use assimilation like to make a sentence.
Sure. You could say something like many indigenous communities resisted assimilation to preserve their cultural traditions. Or you could say when you move into a new country, people often experience some level of cultural assimilation. So it just means blending into a new
Cultural
culture.
assimilation. Okay, cultural assimilation is, I think, when the people move to another country, they have to face cultural assimilation and how they going to just embrace the new culture. That's the really tough part for the first months. For first, maybe first, first 3 months or half year.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right on point. Cultural assimilation can definitely be tough, especially in those first few months or even the first year when someone is adapting to a new culture. It's a big part of moving to a new place and learning how to fit in while also balancing your own cultural identity. So you've described it really well.
Okay, assimilation and my great